Okay, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are. Thanks everyone for joining this webinar for Fusion Data Intelligence for Integrated Analytics, where we will focus on the travel, transportation, and logistics industries. My name is Myles Gilsenan. I'm the Vice President of Data Analytics and AI at Associates. A little about me, I've been in the Oracle Analytics space for the past 15 years. I sit on the Oracle Analytics Partner Advisory Board, where we give feedback to Oracle, and have been implementing FDI now since it came out. Okay, so here's the agenda for today. We think we've got a really exciting webinar for you. Quick overview of Apps Associates, then we'll get into the importance of integrated analytics to the travel, transportation, logistics industry. We will explain what Fusion Data Intelligence is and its value. We'll talk about some real-life success stories out there in the real world. Then we've got a demo, pictures worth 1,000 words. We're very excited about that demo. Then we're going to talk about how Apps Associates helps people get up and running quickly on Fusion Data Intelligence. So today I have with me a couple of people from Oracle. First, I've got Joe Ryder. Joe's been with Oracle for a combined 23 years. Over that span, he's been in a variety of sales and leadership positions, including leading the analytics team at Oracle through 2019, when he moved over to the North American applications team in his current role as Regional Vice President of Cloud Applications over Oracle's strategic accounts for travel, transportation, and logistics. We're also pleased to have Christine Schultz with us. She'll be giving us a demo today. She's an analytics solution engineer with Oracle. Okay, let's dive in. Very quickly, just a couple slides here. Who is Apps Associates? We were founded in 2002 from some principals from Oracle Consulting. We've grown significantly since then. We've got locations in North America, Europe, and Asia. We are deep partners with Oracle. We're recognized as an Oracle to Cloud leader. About 345 active clients, over 1,400 employees. Now, we are a multi-pillar consultancy. If you look at our portfolio, we'll do advisory services. We'll help companies think through how to design their system globally, what systems to select, how to transform their businesses. We have a large practice implementing Oracle Cloud ERP. So we implement ERP, HCM, SCM, EPM, and CRM. That's our biggest practice by far. We also have the biggest integration and automation practice that helps connect all the dots when we do those large scale cloud application deployments. As I mentioned, I head up our data analytics and AI platform service, where we implement FDI and frankly, all of Oracle's cloud analytics-based services. Then we've got cloud services and managed services, where we will either manage your infrastructure or we can manage your applications for you. If you look at our data and analytics practice, we've got about 125 people. 100 of those are offshore in India. I was just in India last week. Tremendous group of people. Many of those have been working with Oracle for 10, 12 years. We refer to it as our FDI Center of Excellence. And we've got a number of certifications and very deep expertise. One of the differentiators is we don't only understand the technology, we understand, importantly, the functional and data and business process aspects of the analytics, which is important because analytics always lives within some context. Okay. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Joe now to talk about integrated analytics.
Great, thanks, Myles. Appreciate that, and Apps Associates for co-hosting this with us today. I just want to do a quick level set for about three to 5 minutes here about why we're here, why Fusion Data Intelligence came to be, and some of the value our customers are seeing from that. And the reality in looking at this picture, it really underscores a concept that enterprise applications were not built for end-user reporting and analytics. If you guys are looking at this and have a technical background, you might recognize this as a data diagram of an ERP system. And the fact is that the ERP systems were built for transaction processing, running your business. They were never built for reporting and analysis. And so you've got thousands of tables that weren't designed, right, for efficient data extraction and data reporting, and that makes it difficult. What makes it more difficult is now with the advent of cloud is that where you typically had visibility into some of those core tables before in an on-premise fashion, In the cloud, where the customer, or rather the vendor, owns the IP and the structures, you even have less visibility into those structures. So it makes it even harder. And so tackling this problem for our customers was paramount for Oracle, and that was the advent, if you will, of Fusion Data Intelligence. The second reason from a value standpoint is that it's well known through several analysts and surveys out in the marketplace that only 25% of organizations are using analytics to support their revenue and analysis processes. And so we said we have to provide a better mousetrap, a better capability that's managed by Oracle to deliver this functionality to our customer base. So the notion behind Fusion Data Intelligence is to approach a new source system that's large and complex and provide robust reporting and analytics is a daunting task. The notion that I have to go out and understand the source system itself in these thousands of tables, that I then have to do the extraction of those, I have to transform that data. I then have to understand the KPIs and all the metrics and reports that the end users want. And now I've got to go design and create and load a structure that is purpose-built for end user reporting and analysis. This is the problem that Oracle wanted to tackle and take on the brunt of that work by doing a lot of that already in terms of providing the extracts, the knowledge of the source system, providing the extracts, providing a library of best practices, KPIs and metrics and dashboards as a starting point that can then be tailored for your business, but populating that into a purpose-built model for end-user reporting and analytics that you can then analyze and take action. And so this is the huge value proposition, why we're here today and what we're going to learn about further in the next sessions here. Because of this offering, a huge number of customers have gotten on board with adopting this technology, adopting this solution. I think what's unique about it, though, is it's the starting point. As the cloud evolves and has quarterly updates, Oracle keeps track of those updates, keeps track of the new content, keeps your analytics in sync with your cloud. And that's part of the reason why these, among other customers, have invested. So we're going to learn a little bit more about the solution today. Just want to level set why we're all here. And so, Myles, I'll pass it back over to you to take it from here.
Okay, great. Thanks, Joe. So we're going to shift gears here. We're going to talk about what is Fusion Data Intelligence, FDI. Now, first thing we'll mention, if there's anyone here or watching this who became familiar at some point with Fusion Analytics Warehouse or Fusion Analytics, if you've heard that term, it's the same thing. It's a name change to better reflect really the value proposition and what's going on. So Fusion Data Intelligence, same thing as FAW or Fusion Analytics, if you're familiar with that. I'm going to use the acronym FDI just for simplicity's sake here as we move forward. So what is FDI? So first of all, it's a very unique combination of software as a service and platform as a service. Sorry, I don't know why that moved. And I'm going to explain that a bit more on the next slide. But when you think of FDI, and I'm going to use some basic terms here because we really want people to understand what they get when they license FDI. So FDI is a bundled product. You can think of it as Amazon delivering you this big box, and you open the box, and inside the box, you have these other boxes, real tangible items that come with FDI. So let's talk about what they are. So the first thing you're going to get, which Joe mentioned, is a pre-built data pipeline from the Oracle Cloud applications down here in the lower left into Autonomous Data Warehouse. And in and of itself, that has tremendous value. We've had clients who said, listen, you sold me when you told me about the data pipeline, because that's not something I want to have to worry about. And Oracle owns that. Oracle maintains it, Oracle upgrades it, Oracle tests it. And that's just not something that you have to worry about. Then you get a license to Autonomous Data Warehouse, and that is Oracle's world-class cloud data warehouse platform. And it's not a watered down limited use license. You can use that autonomous data warehouse for anything you want, just as though you were licensing that separately. Importantly, you get this shared data model right there in autonomous data warehouse. You get a shared data model for ERP, HCM, SCM, CX, and your other external sources if you like. And that gives you efficiency and organization and transparency into your data. And it gives you an ability to make your data trustworthy. And that's super important for AI. And we all know that there's a lot of things you could do with AI and machine learning these days. So it gives you visibility. We've had some clients who said, listen, I need to get it all in one place. And then I know I can, number one, clean it, make it trustworthy, and make it better going forward. And then lastly, you get Oracle Analytics Cloud. Again, this is a full-blown license, not a limited use license. So when you think of FDI, you've got to think of it as a bundled product. You get all of these things right straight away. Now, FDI can be tailored at every layer of what I just talked about, and that's the platform as a service side. So combining software as a service and platform as a service, there's no solution on the marketplace that I'm aware of that does it so comprehensively. So with FDI, you get hundreds and hundreds of reports and dashboards. You get all these pre-built content, but at the same time, you can do whatever you want with it. You can bring in new data sources. You might have a legacy billing system or a legacy reservation system or a transportation management system. You can bring that data in as you like. And the good news is Oracle is building connectors to many, many systems. So there's a Snowflake connector, there's an EPM connector, there's a Google Analytics connector. There's a long laundry list that's all out there on the web. You can do whatever you want at the data warehouse layer. The semantic model, now I didn't mention the semantic model, but it's tremendously important. It's a logical layer, and it sits between Oracle Analytics Cloud and those database tables, that nice clean data model. And what that does is it presents to the user a very nice, clean, friendly set of subject areas using business terms. So the user can just drag and drop. They don't have to worry about the relationship of those underlying tables. The semantic model is so important because it enables self-service analytics, and it makes things simple for end users who really shouldn't have to know anything about that underlying data model. They should just be able to interact with the data naturally. And then tons of metrics and KPIs. And we've done this, we've tailored it for clients. Now, I mentioned a lot of content. There's literally across all the modules, there's over 4,000 pre-built metrics. That's quite a lot. And hundreds of reports and dashboards. And Oracle's been very nice. So they've got what's called a Content Explorer, and we're going to share this deck. If you use this URL right here, it's free, it's open to the public, and you can peruse all of the content, all the metrics, all the reports, all the dashboards. If you're curious, hey, what do they have in ERP for project analytics or procurement or over there? It doesn't really matter. Whatever you're interested in, you can explore before you're even purchasing it. So it's great. The other thing that is a tremendous benefit to something like FDI is the ability for Oracle, because Oracle now owns this technology stack. They're not like in the old days. They don't have to worry about all these on-prem things. They own this. They have all of this. So what Oracle can do is can give the customers the benefit of AI and machine learning without those customers having to hire a team of data scientists and train their own machine learning model, figure out what machine learning model to even use. So you get the benefits, you can just use it. So all of these, by the way, GA stands for generally available, LA is limited availability. If there's nothing, then it's in flight. And this is the kind of thing that keeps coming out. Oracle is just continually putting out AI sub-applications, you could call that. So collection risk prediction, on-time payment risk prediction, employees. So all of these, you just use it. And behind the scenes, there's a machine learning model. Now, if you want to know how the machine learning model is coming up with it, there's full transparency. It's not a black box that you just get the prediction and you don't know how it came about. You can get underneath these machine learning models and understand how those predictions are coming about. Huge differentiator, very, very powerful for companies that they don't know really how to get into AI and machine learning. They don't want to hire a team of data scientists, but they want to move forward. They want to move up the analytics maturity curve. So it's very powerful. Then talking about the product roadmap. Now, the reason, I know you can't really read all these letters. The reason for the product roadmap is another aspect of FDI that people don't get right away. And that is that it is continually evolving. And we're not really used to this. It's like buying a car and it's in your driveway and you bought a 6-cylinder and 3 months later, you've got an 8-cylinder. 2 months later, you've doubled your mileage. 3 months later, you have a sunroof and you didn't do anything. You didn't pay anything extra. You did nothing. FDI does not have the, upgrade your plan button. You don't upgrade from the silver subscription to the gold subscription. When you license FDI, it's a continually evolving and improving platform. So the FDI you license today is going to be different than the FDI you're using a year from now. You'll have more AI applications. You'll have more metrics, more reports, more dashboards. So it's very, very exciting that you're buying something that continually gets better. I'll just mention one thing about the product roadmap. On the CX side, Oracle's made a decision to treat Salesforce as a so-called first-class data source. So anyone out there that's using Salesforce, you can use FDI, and Oracle's treating that just like they're treating their own CX sales and service platform. The data comes in, subject areas, reports, and dashboards. Okay, so let's talk about the value. That's what FDI is. What is valuable about FDI? So first is, I suppose, obvious, but it's just so powerful. If you wanted to sit down and build what I just talked about from scratch, you're looking at 12 to 18 months for one module. If you just wanted to do ERP analytics from scratch and replicate all the metrics and all the dashboards and all the pipelines and all the predictive AI that's been built in, it's 12 to 18 months max. And then if you wanted to do all the other modules, even longer. So that's very, very important. But it's not enough. It's great, but what if buy and extend, the product wasn't that great? What if I didn't have great metrics? What if I was locked in to that pre-built solution and it didn't have necessarily the look and feel that I wanted from a report, or I needed to bring in my legacy billing system? So you get all of that with FDI. You get that speed to value, the AI component, the improving over time component, the extension. And at the end of the day, it's a low maintenance burden because it's, like I said, it's SaaS and PaaS. So we're here at Apps Associates very excited about this platform. We are in our 15th implementation, some of them very large, some of them, not so large. Some of them people get up and running, in weeks, and some of them are a bit larger. So let's shift gears a little bit here to the travel, transportation, and logistics industries. Now, those are three industries. Those are different industries for sure. They all have their unique aspects. But at the same time, there are certain key analytic areas that I think we can say cross these three industries. We want to just call out for a company in these three industries that purchase Fusion Data Analytics, Fusion Data Intelligence, I'm sorry. Where would they be seeing the benefit? Now, it's not limited to these five, but we thought these are maybe the top five. So first, demand forecasting and capacity management, really across all three of these. Is it travel/hospitality? Is it around hotels, transportation? What do we have from a capacity standpoint? What is that demand coming in? And you can see with SCM analytics, you'll have demand planning. CX analytics will give you sales forecasting. And HCM analytics is going to give you the labor analytics, the people. Very important for all of these, particularly in the hospitality industry. CX analytics, customer experience analytics, that's in the name itself. Quite a number you saw there on the AI slide where there was churn prediction and a whole bunch of different metrics. Pricing and revenue management. So being able to optimize price, understanding price, being able to modify price fairly quickly, understanding the revenue forecast, and ERP analytics and accounting hub analytics. I don't have time to go into that. That's a wonderful module where you get all sorts of analytics for source systems that are non-Oracle, but you do revenue producing activities in those systems, and they flow into your Oracle ERP system. Accounting Hub Analytics gives you insight into all that rich transactional detail. Operational efficiency, really all the modules will do that for you. And then risk assessment and management, big area for these particular industries. And I think not only can you assess risk through just using ERP and SEM, but some of those AI models, if you saw them, like the risk of not collecting, the risk of not delivering. So the risk assessment is a big area for AI in general, and Oracle is taking up that baton as they build out their AI applications within the context of FDI. Okay. All right, now we're going to switch gears, just a couple more slides here, then we'll get to the demo. We always want to talk about real life use cases. Okay, FDI seems fantastic. Are there people using it? Well, first of all, yes, there are tons, and Joe showed you that slide, but these are case studies from an apps associate standpoint. These are several of the 15 implementations that we've done. So the first one here is a management communications. You can see this case study out there on the Oracle website, actually. So imagine used FDI to replace, about 80 or so reports that they were using MicroStrategy. They loaded in historical data from their existing data warehouse that was not in their cloud ERP application. They also brought in about 4 or 5 different source systems that were heritage source systems that they were still using. These were non-Oracle, and they were brought into the FDI data warehouse and combined with the Oracle Cloud ERP. Okay, now we're going to switch over. Christine is going to give us a demo of FDI. Christine, you want to go ahead?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm going to stop. Well, I have to stop share. Sorry.
Yeah, there we go. We got zoomed.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Today, we're just going to do a brief demonstration. Travel, transportation, and leisure is a very large group of industries. But today, we're going to take a look at a few of the things we've done with customers in the transportation and leisure space. So here first, it's a pretty simple dashboard, but we have a lot going on here. And the most interesting sort of baseline table stakes thing that we're looking at is we are leveraging a common data model that contains both our HCM data and our financial data. So out of the box on day one, we can do things like comparing our margin to our payroll costs in one visualization. No more doing 2 reports in OTBI, say, exporting it out and reconciling them manually in Excel. So a lot of capability there. All of the data that we're bringing into the FDI platform is designed to work together. So it's going to be a lot easier to go dig deep into it and gain the insights that you need to go and manage your business. We can go from the high level. Here we're bringing in different information from different systems. All of these visualizations are fully interactive. It's the promise of data visualization. Here we're running a forecast using the out-of-the-box ML, and we're taking a look at performance versus target. Here, getting down into a more tactical view, an average daily rate. Let's go and keep seeing what's going on with Austin. You can go and see one filters all of the others, and the revenue per available room. And getting a little bit deeper, because this is just what that particular customer needed. They just needed visibility into what's going on with their hotel operations, viewed across their enterprise. But we also do a lot of work with folks in the gaming industry. And here we can go and see some of the expanded value of the FDI platform as we're starting to reach out and bring in some of this other important data. So here we can go, actually this average length of stay, still for that. But here we're bringing in a 360 view just for this particular customer in the gaming industry. Here we can go and take a look at, of course, we still have all that capability. And one application of this technology and the capability to bring diverse sets of data together, particularly in industries that are very sensitive to market sentiment. And honestly, what industry isn't in a sense, but in transportation and leisure, it's also in consumer packaged goods. There's the applications are the technology or the functionality is general, but the applications are very broad. We wanted to go and take a look, and here we're calling it social listening. So whatever methodology that we have, we could either be going and doing web scraping, we could be dealing with data brokers, we could be looking at server results, we could look at wherever our customers are and taking a look at what their sentiment is across a variety of different metrics. So here we're taking a look, we have different indicators. We're looking at percent positive and percent negative. And here we have outsized as our blackjack staff. Is that positive or negative? Well, at this particular casino, it is decidedly negative. So taking a look at the highline, all of the back office data that we see here, sort of the nuts and bolts, is provided incredible context by also bringing in and running it up against unstructured qualitative data. So from a decision-making standpoint, bringing in all of the information and showing it in, to use a phrase I've heard a lot, the single pane of glass, but that's what we want. We want all of our data in one place so that the appropriate folks can see it and then take the action as needed because they have everything they need in order to go and do that. That's the foundation of business agility, which is the real differentiating capability of an analytics tool like this, to my mind. Here, we're also bringing in our HCM data, taking a look at all of that, and looking at recruitment. And here we can go and take a look, and we can get down to the transactional level for daily operations. So here we can go, and I think there was a element of shrink, but we can go and dive a little bit deeper into the data here. So if we wanted to go and do a little bit of discovery, we could come into our casino and we could go and take a look at, so I'm always interested in other things. And when I was reviewing what we'd done for this customer, I was wondering why they didn't want to go and take a look at their inventory. We had some of the inventory data, but at any time you can come in, work with the data and leverage inbuilt AI and ML, and I can go and hit explain. So here we can go in, we'll take a look at our inventories. So I just want to go and see, I'm kind of curious as to what kind of categories we have. We can go into the category, I want to add selected. And I'm also interested in shrink, just because it's interesting that we actually would have good data here. I want to go in and make this a line bar. I'm going to have my shrink to, there we go. And I want my inventory to be a bar. And so here we're looking at quite a bit. We're over budget on food and bev. Let's keep this. And I am very curious as to what those are. So we can come down in our data model. Here's my 360. And I want to see what items make this up. And so it looks like most of our shrink are being driven by Cliff Bars and Doritos. So from the highest level of your data, the highest level of aggregation, the top line, consolidating all of the information across all of your enterprise structure, down to we have high shrink on Doritos, is the power of the tool. And that power is available to us in an intuitive way because of AI and ML. And that's, you know, as we transition, I get a lot of questions like, what does fusion data intelligence mean? Well, what it means to me, and I'm not, I don't hyperventilate about AI like a lot of people in the news business seem to do. I'm excited about it as a tool. It extends the power, the general functionality of computation. And when I'm looking at this, I'm looking at using generative AI, which is going to be a common layer throughout all of Oracle's applications, all of our products, all of our services. And from an analytics perspective, which is what I'm interested in, just having the machine that is good at churning through all of this data and possibly generating data structures. That's an application of generative AI that I'm working with several customers on. Do your transactions and then let the machine go and churn through all of them and then organize them in such a way that you can go and dive deep into it and gain insights. But I see the amount of data that we can work with and analyze and gain insights from, and this is just my estimation, is going to increase by 1 or 2 orders of magnitude. Just taking the most basic advantages of these new tools that we are delivering as a part of our applications and our app for applications, Fusion Data Intelligence. So with that said, thank you all for listening to my demo, and I'm going to, I believe, turn it back over to Myles.
Excellent. Thank you, Christine. Yeah, that was a great demo. Really, there's a ton here. Certainly, we're not going to necessarily do it justice in this one webinar. I just got to give Joe some access there. Joe, would you mind seeing if you can? Okay, there we go. Sorry, there's just a little bit of delay there. So, all right, so just a couple of slides here, we'll open up for questions. So, as I said, Apps Associates were on our 15th FDI implementation of all varieties across all modules, SCM, Fusion, Finance, HCM, and CX. So we've got what we refer to as a quick start offering. So, yeah, I mean, you might wonder, hey, how can somebody be up and running in 6 weeks? Well, it's true. We've done it for clients. And that's because there's such a great amount of pre-built content, not breaking new ground here. It's been out for several years. So on this quick start offering, we can have people live in production in 6 weeks, 58K. Any 2 modules together, 8 weeks and 68K. And that gives you, you're in production, you've gone through user acceptance testing, all your data has come over into FDI. We validated the data with you. We've done some training of your end users, and we've got you up and running. Now, what we, over the years here that we've implemented FDI and all those clients, we've noticed that there are some fairly common extension scenarios that our customers have asked us for. And we've gone ahead and added some additional tiers to the quick start offering. So if somebody says, listen, I love that quick start, I love the 6 weeks, but there are some other things I need to do. What would that cost and how long would that take? What would that do to your quick start offering? So we've gone ahead and put together a bit of a menu here for people to pick from. So I'll just run through it quickly. Very common. Loading EBS historical data into FDI. A lot of people are going from EBS to Cloud ERP or SCM or HCM. And they've got EBS data. They've got 5, 6, 7 years of EBS data, and they don't put all of that into cloud applications. No need to. So we bring that over. They want to integrate a non-Oracle data source. We'll help them do that. Sometimes our clients will have some very complex reports that they've been using for several years, and they want those to be created, let's say, using the data that's in FDI, but they want to have a particular look and feel, maybe some calculations, custom calculations unique to them. We'll do that. Or something called descriptive flex fields, DFFs. Those are essentially custom columns within Fusion Cloud applications. They're used relatively frequently. Many of them have reporting value, kind of a tag on something in the cloud applications. Oracle has a great automated solution where you can configure it to bring it over into FDI. But then there's maybe a little bit of work to do to make sure they're in the correct subject area and there's some reports. So we've given a nice menu there. Then last thing, again, as we've done these, we've noticed that the companies that really do well with FDI are those that give it care and feeding. And it's really no different than any analytics application. It's different than implementing a new general ledger. You can't choose not to use the new general ledger. you have to use it. But with analytics, people sometimes find a way around. They have a friend who's going to download it for them. They don't think they can get what they want out of this new platform, so they don't ask. So we have found, especially if they do the quick start, they're up and running in 6 weeks. Normally, that's not for the entire organization, because if it's a large organization, that's a lot of people. Normally, it's for a particular area. And I think you've seen through Christine's demo and our discussion today, what you can do with Fusion Data Intelligence is really vast. So it's best to give it a little bit of care and feeding, to increase the adoption and the rollout, to constantly make sure that people trust the data, because that helps with adoption, to develop ongoing enhancements. That's just the nature of analytics. And frankly, to prevent redundant solutions. You make that investment in FDI, you don't necessarily want somebody creating another solution in Excel or something like that you can do, maybe even out of the box with Fusion Data Intelligence. So we've got Day 2 Support Services. We've got a couple of models, service delivery models, either a bucket of hours. We tried to make it simple. So if somebody says, listen, you know what, let me just get 100 hours over the next 3 months. I'll use them as and when I need them. Bit of a safety net there. We can do that, or we can give a dedicated resource, somebody full-time who's working full-time, and we support this out of our FDI Center of Excellence in Hyderabad, India. We've got about 90 people there, skilled FDI people, and we can work with multiple different clients. So very, very excited about Fusion Data Intelligence and the value that it's bringing to our clients. Things are happening that quickly, that you go back 3, 4, 5 years, those things were not happening that quickly. And you bring in the AI and the machine learning capability with somebody like me who loves analytics. Now you're taking it to the next level. Now you're using that data to answer questions, to make predictions. And we're starting to see what people have been writing about, for 10 years now. So very exciting. Okay, I'm going to turn it back over to Joe to wrap it up for us. Oh, no, wait a minute. No, I'm not. I got one more slide. Sorry. This is the why Apps Associates. Okay. And I think we've made our case. I think, 15 implementations, extending in a number of areas. We do have the industry expertise across these particular industries, travel, transportation, and logistics. We've got a great offshore team. So a nice blended model there. That will help you. And then lastly, I would just mention, we've done a number of projects now where we align the implementation of FDI with the implementation of Cloud ERP, SCM, HCM, or CX. So we do them at the same time. So when the customer goes live on, let's say, Cloud ERP or SCM, they're also live at the exact same time on Fusion Data Intelligence. So they don't just get a new application, they take a massive step forward in terms of analytics. So it makes the value proposition of the entire Oracle Cloud Suite even that more enticing. And you can see the contacts there. Jamie Seagraves is my colleague, an account executive. He's also been working with Oracle Analytics for 15 to 20 years. So he's very, very deep. So feel free to reach out to him, or you can reach out to me. Okay, now I'll turn it over to Joe.
That's great. It's a great segue, Myles, because one of the things that jumped out to me to kind of anchor our close here in Christine's demonstration and some of your comments there was the notion of cross-functional analytics. The idea in the same common data model that we provide for that, so that from HCM to finance, I can have revenue per employee, for example, or from supply chain to finance, I can see the impact of carrying costs. Inventory on my expense or sold inventory on my revenue. And so very powerful to have this robust data model and provide this notion of cross-functional analytics as well across lines of business, across pillars. The other notion I just wanted to kind of close with it that we didn't get to is that we do certify the information down to the transaction level, that it will exist in your analytics. And so having that map data lineage all the way from your analytics back to the source system and field, very powerful for our customers for transparency. And so we're going to leave with this slide here. We're going to provide the slides, obviously, in this recording available for you guys to view and replay. But I want to leave you the notion of what if. What if your analytics solution, your core apps were tested together, certified together, packaged together, deployed together, upgraded together, managed together, supported together, but more importantly, cost less together. It's a powerful notion of a solution to bring in-house. And what we've seen today with Apps Associates is not only you have a fast time to value, but an inexpensive way to get you started. And so we are hopeful that you will try this solution out. You will engage with Apps Associates or your Oracle sales rep to learn more and bring in-house. Thank you for joining today. Thank you to Apps Associates and Christine Schultz as well.
Thanks, everyone. It's been a pleasure.
Excellent. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Christine.
I would pause and say if we have any questions from the field, we've got a few minutes left. If not, we can wrap and make this available. Again, slides and content and recording out to our customer base. All right, we'll say silence is golden. We will stop the recording here and thank you all for joining today. And again, thank you again to Apps Associates.
Okay.
Great. Thanks, everyone. Cheers.
Thanks, everyone. Bye now.